Time magazine's Person of the Year, ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange at the end of 2024, a year in which, like Lazarus, he returned from the dead. The political dead, that is. On the trading floor, leading US CEOs, newly nominated cabinet picks, and everyday traders applauded enthusiastically.
And look at how many people were on the floor in those days.
I miss those days, yeah, 5,000 people strong.
They cheered a few days ago, just like they did when President Ronald Reagan came here in 1985, someone whose economic record Trump is looking to emulate.
One thing we do, we look back to his first presidency. What happened the first year of his presidency? We were up slow and steady every month. The S&P 500 had a 19% gain. And then what derailed it slightly? Tariffs in the beginning of 2018. So tariffs to us down here is going to be one of the biggest questions.
But if the election and Trump's policy plans dominated 2024, so too did AI, or artificial intelligence. Google introduced the Willow quantum chip, which it claims is so fast it can solve a problem in 5 minutes that would take even today's supercomputers 10 septillion years, which is older than the universe.
And this is what 10 septillion looks like. It's 10 with 24 zeros written after it.
But when talking about AI on the trading floor, the company on everyone's lips is California-based NVIDIA, whose stock has risen almost 200% this year, and whose boss, Jensen Huang, is leading the charge towards an AI world, or Gen-sanity, as it's known here on Wall Street.
The last number of years have been amazing. There's a lot of foundation underneath it. There's by no means any bubble here.
It's meant the so-called Magnificent Seven tech stocks have surged in value, with 20% growth forecast in 2025, lower than 2024, but still strong.
These are names that everyone wants to own. Every portfolio manager has to have them, whether they're chasing the end of the year for the returns or they're going to start their position for next year.
Continuing with the Lazarus theme of the year, it's Thursday night in Manhattan at Pub Key, a Bitcoin-themed bar in Greenwich Village, where crypto devotees gather to talk all things crypto. Donald Trump came here to serve burgers to customers during the election campaign.
The first transaction by a president on the Bitcoin protocol.
Bitcoin appeared almost dead a year or two ago, languishing around $20,000 per token. Now it's flirting with $100,000. Why?
The Trump administration is saying things that would be very beneficial to the Bitcoin community and broader crypto as well. So I think that there's a lot of anticipation for that. Nation states are interested. They're learning more. We're starting to see more corporate buying like MicroStrategy.
Back in Lower Manhattan near the stock exchange, it's all eyes on the famous Wall Street charging bull. The bull market is 2 years old now, and ignoring daily fluctuations and adjustments, has been boosted towards the end of 2024 by the election of a businessman to the White House and the prospect of a business-orientated Congress. So what do the folk of the New York Stock Exchange see as the main issues ahead? Can they ride the bull market into 2025?
You know what? I think we can. We have to ask ourselves the question, what is it that could take down this market? Right? This year we've had two major wars that included the commodity of oil. That didn't take down the market. We had all the polarity around the election. That didn't take down the market. We've had the whole interest rate and inflation story. That didn't take down. So what in God's name could take down the market?
But looming over every forecast is tariffs and the effect they may have on prices, just as inflation in the US is calming down and approaching 2% again.
This could be just a negotiating ploy. You know, we have to see how that plays out. You know, tariffs have changed our thought process on Canada already and the government in Canada as a whole. So it'll quickly take shape come January 20th. But, you know, they may not be as forceful as imagined. There's two sides to this tariff theory. It's either going to work or it's not.
Those S&P 500 companies, those CEOs that list down here at the New York Stock Exchange, they are probably preparing for best and worst case scenario when it comes to tariffs, especially those multinational corporations. So I don't think it will be much of a surprise, but if it is an aggressive tariff, the first reaction is usually to sell off.
As of now, economists say the US economy is set fair for 2025. Much depends on what the person of the year does once he's back in office and the sequence in which he does it. Tariffs, tax cuts, deregulation. 2025 is promising to be a very interesting year. John Terrett, CGTN, New York.